feet on the ground.
Met de Praxis Plus app profiteer je deze week.
Gewoon meditation works online.
What is my on the planet? I realized that my life, and slowly you can open your eyes.
You're welcome.
I realized that my life had been a long rite of passage. And my mission was to unlock the feminine power on the planet. But I needed to unlock the feminine power within myself first. And for that, actually, at the age of 18, I had a car accident. And I have a near-death experience. I was driving too fast, and I lost the control of my vehicle. Thank you. And I saw the movie of my life, and I was sent out above my car to this beautiful golden light. And I've never been so at peace. I've never been so happy. I've never been so in bliss.
The most powerful writing.
Like, not really fine.
It was a near-death experience. And actually, when I arrived there, I heard, welcome. And now you can stay or you can go back. I wanted to stay.
Yeah, well, that's a choice.
And they say, yes, but
at night,
you didn't finish your mission on Earth.
in the morning.
And at the same time, I came back. But I came back with this amazing sense, point of reference of what peace is. It's golden light of consciousness. And when I came back, I asked myself, but what is my mission? At this time, I was a student at the University of Law, and His Holiness the Dalai Lama, the Peace Nobel Prize, came to give a conference about the violation of human rights in Tibet and the non-violent resistance of a Tibetan. And I say, this is what I want. I want to work for peace. I want to build the foundation of a peace I found in the sky and build it on earth. And how can I do that? So I went to Tibet, I went to Dharamsala, where the Dalai Lama lives, to investigate about the violation of human rights in Tibet. And I decided I'm going to become a human rights lawyer. I'm going to join United Nations. And this is what I did. Thanks to His Holiness the Dalai Lama, who really inspired me because he has been working for peace for the last 5 decades. And actually, when I went, I realized that I want to work for women. And I joined United Nations in Tajikistan. We were working with the Afghan refugees, and it was during the time of the regime of the Taliban. And when I saw all these women under burqa, I felt the call to go to Afghanistan. So I quit my mission with United Nations, and I decided to go directly to Kabul. And I applied for a visa. And when the minister, the Taliban minister, saw my name on my application, he said, but you know what? You don't need a visa. You are already Afghan. And I said, how is it possible? What do you mean? He said, well, very simple. Your name is Aman Din Rosh. It's Amanuddin Rosh in Farsi. Aman means peace. Din means religion. Rosh, joy. You are the happy protector of peace. Allah sent you to Afghanistan. I say, how is it possible? And I say, well, at least it's a sign for me to realize that, yes, I'm on the right path, on my mission. And I decided to work for women in Afghanistan in order to give them back the power that they lost during the Taliban regime. And what we did, we work on the democratic process where we allow women to be part of the leadership and take power again. And this is how you can see the woman answered the call and went back to vote for a new president. And I really love my job. I feel so passionate to give the power back to the woman. I feel like I'm on my mission for peace. But there is a price for that. Working for peace and for the woman in Afghanistan, we have been threatened by the Taliban. We received so many death threats, so many bombing, assassination, kidnapping, that after 2 years working there with no protection, I came back home completely destroyed by working for peace. How is it possible? And I have to go on a long healing journey, and I discovered I have a stomach cancer. And the healer told me, you cannot go back to Afghanistan, you need to protect yourself. And I heal myself with Ayurveda, massage, herbs. I don't know if you know this technique, but this was a beautiful one for me. And he told me, if you go, you have to protect yourself. You're an impasse. So you act like a sponge. You take all the negativity and toxicity. You cannot go back. So you need to learn how to meditate. So I decided to take my backpack and go to India and meet all the spiritual masters who teach meditation and peace. And this is what I did in 2007. So I went to see the Dalai Lama again. And he said, who are you to work for peace in the world if you are not at peace within yourself first? And I say, that's so true. That's so powerful. Who I am to work for peace in the world if I'm depressed, if I'm anxious, if I'm suffering of burnout and post-traumatic stress disorder. It doesn't make sense. I'm lacking alignment, working for peace and not incarnating peace. It's lacking integrity, indeed. And he said, he said to everybody, not to me, but to everybody, peace is an inside job. It starts within yourself. When you put peace within yourself, you bring peace into your family. And when there is peace into your family, you bring peace in the city. And when there is peace in the city, then peace in your country. And when there is peace in your country, then peace on earth, and not the other way around. So I decided actually to go on a long tour around India and to learn more about what real peace means. And I spent time in Sevagram, in Gandhi Ashram, where I took the vows of non-violence, no kill, no deal, no kill, no steal, no lie, not take any intoxicant, and not have any sexual misconduct. And I learned non-violence, ahimsa. I learned the truth, satyagraha. And I spent a lot of time in Amrita Puri as well, in south of India, with Amma, the hugging saint. And with her, I learned generosity. I learned unconditional love. I learned charity. With the Dalai Lama, I learned compassion, kindness, and humility. And finally, I met Goenka, the master of Vipassana retreat. I don't know if some of you did it. It changed my life. Maybe you can raise your hand if some of you did it. Yes? Oh, good. And so I went on 10 days meditation retreat with Goenka, in Dharamsala in the forest. And it was a life-changing experience for me. Why? For the one who don't know Vipassana, it's an ancient technique that the Buddha learned under the Bodhi tree in India. And you go on 10 days retreat for 11 hours per day. You meditate. But you cannot read, you cannot write, you cannot have any eye contact, you cannot have access to internet. And guess what? My monkey mind was longing to read, to write, to access to internet, and to connect eyes to eyes with the 200 persons who were in the retreat. And so one day I went outside just to wash my hands, and guess what? There was a monkey. And the monkey looked to me into the eyes, and I say, oh, I'm longing so much about connection, and I start to look at the monkey. You should never look at a monkey into the eyes. Why? Because he jumped on me, and he actually took my skirt and went on the top of the trees, and I was just naked outside and running after the monkey and just trying to pick up the monkey, and it was a silence routine, so imagine that. But I realized that I did manifest my monkey inside out, because my monkey doesn't want to be here and now. He jumps in the past, he jumps in the future, but he doesn't want to be here. And this is here and now, in the present moment, that there is peace. And I was so inspired by this retreat, because by the end of this retreat, I finally realized that when you manage to tame your monkey mind, and you give a banana just to cool down, and you go and you dive deep, deep, deep within yourself, this is where peace is. And only on the last day, I reached this state within myself where I didn't want to go back. It's like a diver who go deep in the abyss and have a sense of narcosis. But because I touched within the peace whatever I was looking for, and which I found above, and so within, I say, this is what I want to bring to Afghanistan. So I met this amazing woman called Kiran Bedi, who brought meditation in jail in India. And I told her, maybe that's the solution for peace in the world. And she told me, go for it. I went back to Afghanistan and I created the Amanuddin Foundation, because Amanuddin means religion of peace. And I spread the word of Abdul Ghaffar Khan. Abdul Ghaffar Khan was a non-violent soldier of Islam, the best friend of Gandhi, who was just promoting the woman and leadership. And I create, with the former Taliban, the Torch of Light School, where we do civic, peace, non-violence education to the children of the Taliban. And I was teaching them yoga and meditation, because in India, I become a yoga meditation teacher. I was teaching to the NATO army, I was teaching to the Taliban, I was teaching to the women in shelter. But at the end, after doing all this work, I got burned out. Working with UN make me so tired, because I'm always sent in a conflict zone. So I wrote a letter to Ban Ki-moon, my boss, and I say, we have to work on the mental health of a humanitarian. And he said, yeah, go for it. And I created the Inner Peacekeeping Program, 20 tools of inner peace to prevent depression, anxiety, and PTSD. And afterward, I created the Inner Peace Corps organization, where actually we heal the invisible of trauma, restore human dignity, and develop joy through creativity. This is in Syria border with the Syrian refugees. This is in Libya. And the program was amazing. There was so much change within the woman afterward. But now the program is developed around the world. And I keep my job with United Nations, from Afghanistan to Iraq, from Libya to Haiti, from Angola to Rwanda, Central Africa to Congo. For 20 peace process around the world, my job was just to give back the power of a woman at the bottom of a fossilized patriarchy, like for instance here in Central Africa. All these women have been so traumatized. They are suffering of rape at the age of 12, considered as sexual education. They have been victims of genital mutilation, or they suffer of child marriage. And working with all these women, organizing Peace March, as you can see, with them, I realized that how much these women have suffered. They keep within themselves the beauty of the feminine quality of love, of care, of tolerance, of patience, of peace, of resilience. And I realized this is exactly what Mother Earth needs more than ever now. This rebalance of the yang and the yin, because so far, this country where I've been working, it's the young who have been dominating for too long. And working so long on this, as I mentioned, I was always draining myself and so tired that I decided to go on another healing journey. And I went to South of America and in Africa. And I got healed by the beautiful plant medicine